Pokemon cards, if you're one of the G's watching this channel right now, there's a good chance that you open or collect them. If you don't, you're always welcome here. A lot of questions, a lot of things get asked about Pokemon cards. It's one of the big things you can just have multiple channels, multiple videos about. Why do people collect certain cards? Why does this set do this? Why do these cards go up in price? Why is this exploding? Why are people all interested in this? My buddy Dama over on his page has recently been talking about IR cards, or the illustration rare cards that have been going up in English. Certain ones are just fetching crazy prices. This is not anything new for the English side of the market. Some of them are going kind of, I think it's a little ridiculous what some of them are going for, such as the Persian or the Houndoom, but it's not really anything crazy. It's been happening the whole time in Scarlet and Violet. The Magikarp was a good example of that. Tyranitar, people pushing up Groudon. People find specific IR cards they like from sets, and they kind of go up, whether they be popular Pokemon or anything like that. But a lot of people have been asking, well, hey, these cards exist in Japanese or Korean or other languages as well. Why do these cards also not fetch the same price? Some people say it has something to do with the pull rate, the size of the sets. I'm sure that plays a little bit into it. But there's a couple other things, too, that really play into that. Some real pokey positive things that play majorly into why stuff like that happens. With Stellar Crown being out, we got a great example of that right here. So this is r/Pokemon TCG. Yeah, I know, not r/Pokey Investing. I'll be back there next week. Don't you worry. There'll be plenty of stuff to talk about. So I've opened 7 booster boxes of Stellar Crown. You can see a beautiful spread of stuff happening here. Lucky Dog got 3 Bulbasaurs. That's a very good card to pull right now. Squirtle's doing very well. They got the Lacey SIR. I almost say SIR every single time because I collect Japanese. I'm not losing my mind. If you don't collect Japanese, they call them SARs over there. The Lacey SIR up top. They got the nice SIR Dash Bun. Several full art trainers. I think they got, no, that Galvantula down there is definitely an SIR. That does not need to be next to Lapras. They got a good spread of stuff. They got 3 SIRs. They got a bunch of trainers. They got a bunch of really good things to pull out of this box, right? I must say, I'm very disappointed with the quality. 70% of hits have some type of damage. I ordered 2 sealed cases and then gave up after 7 booster boxes. They had 5 more booster boxes. I said, fuck this shit. I'm not opening this stuff up anymore. The damage is bad. 70% of cards. That's not something uncommon that I've heard of with English sets. It's kind of a well-known thing. English sets kind of suck a little bit more compared to Japanese sets or if other language sets for the most part. The quality of it's not really typically as good in a lot of different cases. Now, some people are going to say this is very bad for the set. Some people are going to say this is awful for the set. But there is a good chunk of people, a large chunk of people looking to buy specific cards that are seeing news like this. And if this becomes widespread, that's just going to be game over, people. A lot of people who put money into Pokemon like stuff like this. See, Japanese cards, while they have these ARs or these IRs, the art rare cards, right? These are great cards. They look fantastic. But if you're pulling them in Japanese, you get a booster box. There is a solid shot. I'd say like 75% of the time you pull that card, you send that into grading, it's going to be a 10. The quality in Japanese is superb. The cards are fantastic. One of the big reasons I'm a fan. They were cheaper for a long time. They still are cheaper now at this point. And it's something I like to collect. English cards now, if this is the case where a good chunk of cards are coming damaged, the chances of you actually pulling a card that's going to be like a PSA 10 or something like that has dropped considerably because it's in English. And a lot of people like chasing hard to get things, whether that's hard to get things because Pokemon is not doing good quality maintenance over at their shop or anything, or whether it has something to do with the fact that a card's exclusive. It kind of really doesn't matter. This has been driving a lot of the IR and AR hype for a lot of these cards for a little bit. You ever wonder why fucking Magikarp was that expensive? That's a good reason why, because actually getting a 10 was pretty difficult, and the pull rate, because of how many IRs were in the set, is what a lot of people are saying, made it difficult for you to actually pull said Magikarp. I do think that would actually levy up all of those cards up to a good price. I think they would all get at least a little bit of a bump if they're all hard to pull. But pull rate doesn't really affect price. It's popularity and the fact that people can actually get a good quality card of it or not. And if English is having this hard of a time with Stellar Crown, you best believe there's people salivating, absolutely just drooling from the mouth, thinking about getting a nice squared up Squirtle in the world of Squirtles that are off center or got some damage on the edges or something like that. There's people that are looking at it. I really do think a lot of this is playing into it. See, Japanese is cool and all. It was really fun for people to push for a little bit, but then they realize they're not special getting that stuff. Every card they're getting is basically a PSA 10. But if I want to truly get the chase, if I want to truly chase the needle, if I want to truly have some fun in Pokemon, I better go after English and not only hope, like double up my luck. I better not only hope that I pull the card that I want, but I also have to get one that I hope hasn't been completely screwed over by the Pokemon factory and it's just not completely screwed up coming out of the pack. It's just not fucked me yanking out of it. It's basically double gambling, and a lot of people in our hobby who are addicted to this really like that. And then there's another subsection of people who actually take advantage of this hype and pump up IRs, ARs, and all that kind of stuff too. That's why we're experiencing some crazy hype on some of that stuff on the English side, and it is not translating very well to the Japanese side at all. The Japanese cards are a completely different ball game. They have very little interest right this second because the fact that no one is special buying them. You get a card and it's going to be a 10. Hey, so is the person next to you. Their card's also going to be a 10. And we're living in a graded card time right this second. Everyone wants their cards graded. Everyone wants to send their stuff in to be the highest value possible. And in that case, English is always going to come out superior because there's going to be cases where finding a actually squared up 10 PSA card is going to be quite rare. And people are addicted to double gambling, triple gambling, quadruple gambling, whatever you want to put it. That's what people are. That's all I got. I appreciate it. And seeing stuff like this where people are pulling stuff and they're not having a great time with English, I can only see that this is going to benefit other people in the future who are playing off people not happy with the quality of their cards. So I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. Happy Friday. Blah, 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 blah.